mean, we go for nothing but the best light.
This is tip-top notch production value.
Just try to, I don't know, that helps a
MTCN Crew 2016.
Yo.
We got mirror lights. We got I don't know what's worse.
What do you want, man? I have like no budget.
You have enough of a budget.
To pay for your ticket, that's about as much as it goes.
Okay, that's true. I mean, they got like these little bio lights, solar powered lights.
How much do they cost?
Like $20.
Maybe I'll look into it next month.
Yeah, they're collapsible because they're like plastic.
I just paid my rent, dude. That's like $13.25.
For like $30, you can get one that changes colors. Like it's cool, it's fancy. And you just put one on the dash and just have it.
We have a movie to talk about, not a whole lot of time.
I know. All right.
Send me a link to the product later. I'll add it to my list.
Yeah, sure. We'll look into it.
All right. So so we guys got Queen of. I don't know why I said that. I was thinking Prince of Persia for some reason. Queen of Katwe.
Do you know how racist you sound when you say shit like that?
I have been working like so many goddamn hours.
I understand, but when you say,
I know,
something in Africa-ish, the brown people.
To be fair, I just saw a review. I was watching old like zero punctuation review for Prince of Persia earlier today.
Okay, that might. Okay. It's on your mind.
That's my pass.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my pass.
Fine. I'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
You don't let white people get a pass on worse. That's okay. All right. Sure.
Not the first time I've been called a racist on this show.
You mean well.
Well, there are times I just say offensive shit.
And we check you on it. But anyway, so Queen of Katwe.
You should watch the Green Room review. I just make a whole kinds of Nazi jokes.
Yeah, I should. Now that I've seen the movie.
Oh, you've seen that movie?
Yeah, I have.
Fucking great, right?
It's pretty solid.
Anyway,
not as good as Blue Ruin, but I didn't
see Blue Ruin.
Blue Ruin was his first movie, much better.
Okay. So what do you think of Queen of Katwe? Uh-oh.
First word that comes to mind is just Africa? Like, just... Sorry.
And I'm racist.
No, because the thing I really love about it is that it is straight up African. Now, the father of the director of the movie is from Uganda, and that's that was part of his whole thing. I read an article about this, about how I think it was the guy who directed the Cinderella remake and something before that was significant.
There's gonna keep it on the time.
Yeah. But he'd been basically biding his time to try to get a good script and everything. Read about this girl's story from the book that they mentioned at the end of the movie. That's the book that he actually discovered her from. And yeah, it's actually done with the intent of really showing you somewhere different.
Yeah. And
it is a pretty standard cut and dry Disney arc of a story. It's someone in a rough spot for one reason or another ends up getting involved in some kind of activity that gives them a shot at a better life, and there are conflicts between that and their existing life and responsibilities, and then just constantly fighting through obstacles on the way to the goal, and in the end she gets to it, and hooray, and happy ending. It's Disney. Yeah. Very, very Disney moments. However, throughout the movie, there are lots of moments that are very, very... you get things in their cartoons where there are families or people in really bad situations, like Aladdin, he was homeless and poverty, and in Lilo and Stitch, the mom's dead, the sister's
but they always make it seem really cheery.
Yeah, there's just
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Well, no, Lilo and Stitch did a really good job with that, but you have those elements in Disney movies, but I don't think I've ever seen a Disney movie where the poverty is that brutal. It's they're struggling to sell corn every day, enough corn so that they can just make like soup to eat that night. It's such an incredible level of poverty, and there is one point where they do lose their very slight shelter. They lose that, and they end up becoming legit homeless, and it's heartbreaking. And it really is an environment where there's no fallback plan. They really are that close at any given moment of losing everything they've got. And there are people with good graces and stuff who do help them get a foot back up, but when it comes down to it, we're not used to seeing, Africa poverty.
Yeah.
Like, we're not used to seeing third world poverty as Americans. And it was really, one thing I really liked about the movie was how it put the focus on education. The fact that, something we take for granted is like, oh, I'll just go and get some bullshit degree so my parents will stop bugging me. Like, that thing that you see from, personally, I've seen it from a lot of people growing up, like the lazier ones who were going to West Valley to just go to college classes or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially in community college. So when you get to university, when you get to university, there is less of that. But when you're still working on your undergrad, there's still plenty of people who are in programs but not really enthusiastic about it. So I feel like in this country we kind of take a lot of our education for granted, and when you have something that is such a big deal, like where they don't even have public school there, where these kids have a shot at a basic education, not even university, the chance to do well enough at a basic education to get into a university, but to start with, they're just trying to go to middle school and high school. Like, they're just trying to get basic needs met. And I don't know, there's something about the fact that this movie is just full of, like, it just feels so real. Yeah,
and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's how I felt about it too.
Yeah.
Is I felt like that for me, like, what makes or breaks these kind of movies is just how believable the characters are.
Yeah.
Because the story, like, it is cookie cutter. You can kind of guess the beats as you're going along, but what kept me invested, what kept me engaged, is the fact that the characters are just really well written.
Yeah, there's an authenticity to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They think and talk like real people.
Yeah.
And you believe their communications.
Yeah, you have Lupita Nyong'o as the mother, and then Martin Luther King Jr. as the coach. But then aside from that, I didn't really recognize anybody in the movie.
No, neither did I.
And
honestly, the only one I recognized was Martin Luther King. That's because you told me that was him.
Yeah. But the weird thing about it is that, like, occasionally I'll come across, like, there were characters in the movies where not to be racist or whatever, but do you ever see someone who's from another country giving a performance in a movie and you're wondering, are they just new at acting or new to English? Like, how much...
Like how much did they actually know how to speak the language?
Yeah, because, like...
Arnold Schwarzenegger was that way when he started acting.
No, but that's kind of more intense. I guess the fact that all the characters in this movie were speaking English in the first place, for the most part...
Yeah, I was wondering, should they be talking English or should they speaking?
Well, they're not going to subtitle the whole movie for American audiences.
Yeah, especially as this is Disney.
But that
would have been a ballsy fucking move, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have been pretty ballsy. But when it comes down to, like, the performance in some of them, I'm wondering how many of those people they actually just found as unknowns through auditions.
I would not be surprised if it was a lot of them.
Yeah, feels like a lot of them feel like they're just actually,
because Disney really has been taking a lot of risks with finding new talent these days. Like, I'd say what you will about the live action remakes that I'm not particularly fond of, they have been finding like new kid actors for those roles.
Sure, no, that's good and everything. But what I like about this movie, the article I read that talked about this made a really good point in that it is a very weird movie in the sense that it feels distinctly Disney in many ways, like the story arc and everything, but very much un-Disney in a lot of other ways, in how, like, the rawness of the poverty that they face and the troubles day to day, and like the scene where the flood comes and like the little kid is left, and like for a second I was like, is the baby gonna die? Yeah. Are they gonna kill the baby? Like, they're not gonna do that, right? And
I don't know. Disney has done a lot of
that's what I'm saying. You don't know. You don't know sometimes.
But like, no, I definitely agree with that, and especially comparing this to like the last Disney true story movie I saw, I think it was $1 Million Arm, and that was like as basic and as cookie cutter as it fucking gets. And
Disney
just
likes
like
those movies.
And if I'm comparing like those two movies strictly in like how it's Disney and how it's not, is that the plot beats are essentially the same between the two movies, but the way the characters are written is vastly, vastly different.
Yes, that is...
Again, that's what it means it makes or breaks the movie.
Yeah, no, well, because the cookie cutter... that template has been around since... what? I mean, you could talk about fucking A League of Their Own all the way through to like those old baseball movies, like Field of Dreams and all that crap, all the way up to Remember the Titans. And God, I hate that movie so much.
I can never get myself to sit down and watch it. I tried once or twice. It's like this. I find this movie incredibly boring.
So bad. But Remember the Titans all the way through to like even things like Akeelah and the Bee. Like just there's so many movies that are just about, this person doesn't believe in themselves and they discover something that kind of taps into a part of them that they're not familiar with, and then they go and they start committing themselves to this thing, and they meet adversity on the way, and somewhere along the way something really bad happens that knocks them down a few extra notches, and they have to fight back from that.
Yep.
And in the end, because they believed in themselves, they're gonna win. And maybe they won't if Disney has the balls to fucking have a not fully happy ending at the end of it, but like basically that's the movie. That's the same movie it's been forever. So,
but this one has the advantage
of
our main character being taken down by the most heinous, the most offensive, the greatest force in the world, Canada. I've been peppering that joke all the
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
But no, like I think the joke I made $1 Million Arm is the fact that honestly, like if I just keep my eyes closed the entire movie and just listen to the soundtrack, I could tell you everything that happens beat for beat.
Yeah.
Regardless of what.
I love it when music. I love it when I understand how I'm supposed to feel during a scene strictly through the music.
Mm-hmm. And I felt like this movie did that too, but at the same time, I'm invested because I give a shit about the people.
Yeah, no, it was like it's hard not to care about these innocent characters just struggling to make their way in this really
because like
world.
you have the main character, of course, is trying to make something of herself. You have the mom who's struggling desperately to let go.
Look at how they are so dirt poor that even when she goes to join the other like poor ass kids in this rundown little building to play chess, they reject her at first because she smells.
Yeah.
Like she's so poor even the rest of the poor kids don't fucking look at her. Like that's so brutal. Like the depth of where they take that and how much of the film they actually spend focusing on the conflicts of being that poor. I wasn't expecting that at all. And
no, this movie definitely defined my expectations.
It's definitely clear. To me, it's very clear that the directors, the people who wanted to get this movie made, knew the story beats to make it a Disney movie and get Disney to approve it, but at the same time, knew the other stuff that they wanted to put on top of it to make it more of a... to tell what they wanted to tell. They wanted to give a real look at what people in places like Uganda go through. And, I mean, I've never been to Uganda, so I can't speak for exactly how well of a job they did, but I felt it. Like, it's you really do empathize with these characters who have very, very deep poverty-based issues.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, like, there are some characters in the movie that did kind of bother me, and you can probably tell which ones they were. Like, the over-the-top person at the university goes, "Oh, we can't have those people in our group."
No, but that happens.
I know it does, but again, it's that stereotype that still bugs the shit out of me.
That was actually one of the guys I was wondering, like, whether he had any acting experience.
Yeah, because you guys going,
like,
no,
we can't have that. No. Like,
it's like, and I felt like they played
that's
that.
That's not real. That's you're not even.
He's like the guy like in Seabiscuit. It'd be like smoking the cigar, going, I can't take someone like you.
Yeah,
in my racetrack.
Basically, yeah, we can't have these poor kids coming into our school. Oh look, and he starts making excuses for why they can't get in. Like it's. And of course, there's like a little gag at the very end where he's listening on the radio.
Yeah,
like, that I always believed in that girl.
I rolled my eyes at that because I was thinking, like, again,
swing and a miss.
It's like same other story to like being like, yeah, I always believed in you, Rock.
Yeah, right.
One of those things. I'm like, ow, really?
Yeah,
that's not even funny.
We
were so good at subverting stereotypes up to this point. But no, we had to go that route. All right.
Yeah.
And it's a nitpick. It's a nitpick. No, it's not a big deal.
But it's a valid thing. Like, that's the thing. It does feel kind of like a novice movie. Mm-hmm. There are certain elements about the film that do feel like it's not as polished. I know the editing at certain points kind of bothered me.
Yeah, like there were some kind of random zoom-ins, I noticed.
Yeah, there was some random cuts and edits and zooms and like, just, it didn't feel like they had the full top-notch budget and people that Disney might give some of its other projects, but I really think that they expected that going into this movie, and they made a really good movie in spite of that.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some Oscar nods towards this movie, at least for some of the performances.
Maybe, but you know.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I said I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, if by nods you mean like a nomination to show that they're not racist, then sure, but it's not going to win.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to win. I said it might just get a nomination in like a couple categories.
I don't know. They're aggressively diversifying, so let's see how that goes.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing. I forgot about that. Oh man.
Let's see how that progresses into this next couple of years. It should be fun.
Yeah. Oscars. But yeah, like otherwise, like it is just a really good movie like this, and I like that it's promoting good lessons for people just about sportsmanship in general.
You just gotta believe.
Well, it's not just that. It's even like the line she says, like after she has the big like fall towards the end of the movie, and she goes like, "I was like losing just teaches me how to play better."
Yeah,
which is like I like
me how to get better.
And I like stuff like that because I think, like, especially if kids watch the movies, like it is a good lesson to pass on.
It's very important to understand that failure is part of the process.
Because this movie is full of bad losers.
Yeah, dude, this movie just knocks her down constantly. Like, there are multiple things that happen continuously.
I'm not talking about just her. I'm talking about everyone's ass she kicks in this movie has some kind of micro meltdown at some point.
Yeah.
And honestly, I work with little kids for a fucking career now. So when that kid and the middle of the movie starts going, he took my queen, I got like horrible Vietnam flashbacks because like I feel like I've had this conversation and I feel like I had that guy's exact response, which is just to grab
run over,
her.
pick her up, just take her. We don't even know where he takes her or what he does to calm her down. For all you know, he just strapped her to a bed and left her there. We don't have time for your shit. We got in the middle of a tournament. I'll get back to you.
Do we even see her in the rest of the movie?
Out. I don't know. Maybe
like, what if he just murdered her?
Just ran up, threw her off a balcony, like, she was not worth it.
Because like that's it. That was her shining moment.
Yeah, no,
she
didn't come back.
She's gone after that.
But yeah,
for all we know, Martin Luther King just kills bad chess players.
Man. But if so yeah, that's in the movie.
So like, how good are you at chess anyway? Because I heard you like calling out moves and shit while we were watching this.
Oh, I fucking love chess. That's another thing. There were certain points in the movie where I was watching, I'm like, I don't think you could do that. Like I felt earlier in the movie like they kind of just bullshitted things. Like, here, just put the pieces down and move them around and we'll get a shot. And I'm like, wait a minute. But maybe I'm wrong because they did show really quick shots of some of the boards. But later in the movie, they definitely had moments where I was like, that's how you get trapped. No, don't do that. Like, it was, if you play chess, it will give you a little bit of extra enjoyment out of the movie. You'll get into it a little bit more, but I do mean a little bit because they show very little of the chess side of things.
Yeah, this is true.
There really is a plot device. They don't really delve into like, if they do this and this and that. They don't explain enough about chess to explain why there are moments where it's exciting. That's why I kind of felt it was kind of funny later in the movie where the mom asks, "What's going on? What does that mean? What does that mean?" He's like, "It's because she's winning," and like it's
kind of like watching. I feel like it's like watching the movie Warcraft, where one person has no idea what the fuck is going on, the other person's going, "Oh, that's that one thing." Meanwhile, I'm watching going, "What the fuck is that one thing?"
Please don't compare Warcraft to chess.
I'm not comparing Warcraft. I'm comparing people's reaction to watching chess and watching Warcraft. Because it's just as confusing for people who have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
But when it comes down to it, it really is just a standard kid achieving something movie. But
it works.
Set in Uganda.
It really, like,
and with Uganda's whole culture and environment and problems brought into it, severe poverty and all that stuff, it feels real in a way that other Disney movies don't.
yeah, I agree.
And at the same time, it lacks a certain level of polish that other Disney movies have.
Yeah.
So I can see this not clicking with a lot of people, but at the same time, I really like what it is, and I think it's really necessary.
I agree. I think you could probably shave about 10, 15 minutes out of this movie, I think, because it does drag in some sections.
I feel like you could just change that 10 minutes.
True.
There are certain things they could have done to make it flow a little more smoothly.
Especially in the beginning. There were some parts where I got kind of confused. Because I was like, wait, why is she here? Wait, like, this is really badly edited. Did she follow her brother here? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is what she did, but, like, I couldn't tell for the longest time. Because, like, wait, she's just suddenly crouching behind a building. Like, and I have no idea why. But, yeah, so stuff like that. But overall, like, I did genuinely enjoy myself. I was genuinely rooting for these characters. Yeah. I felt feels.
Yeah, there were some feels. There were definitely some feels, especially the very end.
Yeah,
like, the very end, I was like, oh.
But even again, as beat for beat as this is like a standard like sports movie, it does, like, every moment still feels earned.
They know how to twang the heartstrings.
Yep.
But yeah, they did definitely earn their beats in this movie.
Yeah, so, like that's what. So it works not because of the story, because the characters are so well written. Yeah. I think that's kind of my bottom line for this movie.
Yeah, I would honestly give this like a 6 or a 7.
I would give it a solid 7.5.
Yeah, it's. I would lean towards 7 simply because of how like the importance of this kind of thing and the cultural perspective. But overall, when it comes down to it, it's as far as entertainment value goes, it's a very straightforward, simple, cookie cutter.
But I think it works more than a lot of people in other movies in this genre do.
Yeah, I would give most movies in this genre like a 4 or 3
at most.
Yeah, so
I agree.
And this, while hitting a lot of the same beats, manages through its characters and its environment and
it kept
what
me
it's trying
invested.
to show. Yeah, it definitely worked better for me than a lot of movies of its kind do. So. Yeah.
You and I are pretty much in agreement on this one.
All right, great.
So, no hour-long rant about Batman vs. Superman or whatever it is this time.
Well, the thing about Batman vs.
No!
All right. Do we want to hit trailers?
Very quickly, just the ones we haven't talked about already. So, and mostly because I just want to talk about the Columbine movie we got right off the bat. We got the first trailer I've seen for the Pure Fix Columbine movie that's coming out. Because, of course, this is a thing. You want to go see it?
It's not the first Columbine movie.
I know it's not, but it's Pure Flix doing a Columbine movie.
I'm really wondering how the Christian angle is going to factor into the shooting itself.
Oh, it's going to be a train wreck.
Is this going to be a thing where, like, your main characters escape and they help people escape and, like, they lose a couple friends along the way and it's really, like, heartbreaking in that way? Is it going to be one of those things where all of the friends head off and, you know, all that? Or is it one of those things where all of them are okay because they believed in God as they got shot to hell? Like, I don't know. And at the same time, I'm wondering, sure, it's based on true events. Fine. But is this the story of a real person? Like, is this someone's experience being translated into a movie? Or did you have the balls, the fucking gall, to look at Columbine and say, what if we look at this from the perspective of a hypothetically Christian student who could have fixed everything with a little more God in their lives? Like, is this one of those condescending pieces of shit?
Yep.
And
it's a Pure Flix movie. I'm willing to bet you $50
betting on the last
case.
one.
Yep.
But I just the use of the use of a tragedy to shoehorn your beliefs into it's not even the fact that it's not the idea of making a movie about Columbine from a Christian perspective. Mm-hmm. It's the idea of using it as a dramatic device and just kind of building your own make-believe of your understanding of that kind of thing. Because as far as I know,
it's why I hate the movie Elephant.
Ugh.
I fucking hate that movie.
The thing is that I still think that Elephant probably handled the psychology of school shooters better than this movie will.
All right, no, that movie's fucking condescending as shit as far as...
I know, but it'll be better than this one.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I feel like there's certain people who try to understand the mindset and the angst of loners and the bullied, who just kind of make shit up. The same way that we make shit up about, like, oh, well, you know, they hate us because they hate our freedom. Like, some crap like that. It's so dreadfully simplistic and uninformed. And I really get the feeling that this is going to boil down to, well, those kids wouldn't have shot up all those other kids if they just had more Jesus.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with, you know, unstable home conditions or environment or how they were treated at school all the time or, you know, potential mental illness or depression and all that, or, you know, there's all these different things that are factored into making someone commit something like that, and I really don't get the impression that this film is going to have the nuance or intelligence to treat that properly, and it's just going to be all about Jesus. So, you know, nothing against Jesus in that sense, but
So you don't want to see it?
I think we'll have to.
No, I'm going to have to. You're welcome to come if you really are a masochist. But otherwise, I'll probably just text Grant. It's like,
Can I come in a trench coat and laugh during really inappropriate moments loudly?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do this.
Because I will do it without a trench coat. I will do it openly and get stoned out of the theater.
I gotta find a trench coat. No, the point is wearing a trench coat.
Oh! I have a trench coat. I can loan it to you.
All right. Let's see if it fits me.
It's actually pretty big. I got it for a Rorschach costume years ago.
But, yeah, so, I mean, we can go in, the two of us go in trench coats to the Columbine movie. And then laugh,
we're horrible
and
people.
then laugh at God. Oh, God. Wow.
We can go in like the, what's his name from God's Not Dead 2. I hate your client. And everything she stands
I haven't
for.
seen it.
Oh my God, that movie's bad.
Anyway, that's
so yeah.
that.
Then we got Loving. Do you remember what that one was?
Yeah, it's the one with the white dude who married the black woman.
Oh, that one.
They're getting torn apart. And
the one from the guy that looks like he's trying to impress. He's trying to do an impression of Sling Blade.
Is that just the impression you get of anyone with a southern accent, or what? That's he's just got a buzz cut and he's got a twang in his voice. Like,
well, I'm not saying like more like just mannerisms.
It's Joel Edgerton.
Okay. It gave me a bit of a Sling Blade vibe. All I'm saying.
I know, but like, do you remember Joel Edgerton? Like,
I've seen him in stuff.
Yeah, he's really talented.
I know he is.
Yeah,
it still reminded me of Sling Blade.
He made The Gift. Remember?
I know its Gift is amazing.
Yeah,
but it still reminds me of Sling Blade.
Now you're being racist against white people.
Well, I'm white. Does that make that okay?
No.
Okay. I thought you could be racist against white people. I thought that's what dear white people taught me.
Well, no.
I'm really confused.
I want to learn!
I'm trying, damn it. Just write me a book and send it to me. Here's how not to be racist against anyone.
Go on.
Okay, so that's good. Then we got the teaser for Beauty and the Beast, which I could really care less. I know this guy is trying to sound French. It doesn't sound remotely French.
I have nothing to say other than I like the people involved and I have no interest in it.
Yeah. I know they said showed a picture of the Beast. It looks like something off a CW show. So like,
wasn't there a CW show called The Beast?
There really was.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Beastly. That was what it was.
Was it called Beastly? I thought that was a crappy YA movie they made about it.
No, it had
I know it Lois Lane from Smallville. Erica Durance, I think her name was.
No. Kristen Crook. Is it Kristen Crook?
No. Lois Lane was like Erica something. But anyway, we'll figure it out later. We gotta move on.
Yeah.
Then we got I don't even remember these trailers. What was Priceless?
Yeah, it was Kristen Crook, man.
Really? That's Lana Lane.
Oh, no, that's right. You're talking about Beastly. I'm actually talking about the Beauty and the Beast show that was on the CW.
Oh, I'm getting the two mixed up.
Or
Okay.
mixing it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, Ash versus the Evil Dead's back tonight. That's
Oh, yes, it is. Sweet.
But yeah, anyway.
Do you know what Priceless was? Because I don't.
Oh yeah, no, the dude who's got the truck hauling job and he crashes his truck or something and finds his two women in the back and decides that he's gonna save them and
that's why I don't
gets
remember. It
involved
looked
in
bland
some-
as fuck.
Yeah, it looks like one man
One man played by
fights for what he believes is right.
what's his face? Fighting.
This injustice will not stand.
It's like Dread without all the fun of Dread.
Yeah. All right, go on.
Then we got Hidden Figures, which is another movie I can't remember for the life of me.
It's the three black women.
Oh, the one that actually looks pretty good.
Yes. It
Okay.
looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It is about three really, really, really intelligent mathematicians slash engineers. I'm not sure exactly. Sorry.
Yeah.
But they are
Close enough.
they are trying to basically get the recognition and credit they deserve to be allowed to work on the first rocket missions to send a person to space. And without them, it wouldn't have been possible. But history has seen fit to brush these black women from our history books. Just brush them aside and be like, oh yeah, by the way, we wouldn't be in space if it weren't for black people either. So, this movie is, I believe, based on a book, and it will be coming out, and it looks very good.
And we will probably see it.
Yeah,
I need to see more good movies.
I'm very interested in it. It looks good. Plus, Janelle Monáe.
Yes.
Fucking Janelle Monáe. I fucking love her so much.
When does it come out?
I don't even know. I'm just keeping an eye on it.
Well, I'll check it out and go see
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Like that one and When a Monster Calls, the two movies I'm looking forward to this year.
I haven't seen the trailer for that one.
Oh, and that one looks amazing.
Oh, we gotta get going.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We'll
So
get to
wrap this up. I think that's all we got for this week, for today at least. I think we got like a shit ton of movies this week, like Masterminds. We'll probably end up skipping that one, but there's a couple of ones I know we gotta go see.
I'm kind of interested in Masterminds ever since I found out that it was directed by the director of Napoleon Dynamite.
And I hated Napoleon Dynamite.
No, that's the thing. I'm less interested in the sense of like, oh my god, Napoleon Dynamite. More like, oh hey, let's see what happened to this guy.
Fair enough.
Because what did he did that and Gentleman Broncos and Nacho Libre and then fucking disappeared forever.
And then
how,
I know
how long has it been? And now he's got a movie with Zach Galifianakis and a couple other SNL
Owen
people.
Wilson, whatever.
Yeah, it's SNL people. So it's like and Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon and.
So the Ghostbusters meets Hanover, basically.
Oh God, they wouldn't describe it that way.
But anyway, we can wrap this up. And I think next week you and I got the middle school movie. Hey, you said you'd go see it.
When did I sign up for that?
You said, oh, it has the principals, an actor you really liked. And he said, I will see anything that has him in it. And I said, okay.
Who's the principal?
I don't know. You can look up later because we got 1 minute, literally. So,
Okay.
all right. So I'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye.